The top stories. Eggs run out in the run-up to Christmas, but fear not. Chris Sinckler is open to talking about a $1 billion bond offer. And church tourism? Barbados is being advised to pursue it. Welcome to Nation News for Tuesday, December the 23rd, 2014.
No matter where you are in the world, at home or abroad, Nation News keeps you connected with what's happening in Barbados through our website, video newscast, and online e-papers. So stay connected with Nation News. Your time, your way.
Some supermarkets briefly ran out of eggs earlier, sending shoppers into a mild panic that home-baked Christmas cake might not happen this year. Shortly after popular supermarket on Spooners Hill St. Michael opened its doors in the morning, the eggs were gone. One worker said customers were also purchasing lots of margarine and flour to bake their Christmas goodies. A similar situation occurred at Massey Supermarket in Waddings and Channel in Blackrock. Stores were expected to be replenished by the afternoon. Finance Minister Chris Sinckler says he's open to discussing an offer by two British investors to raise up to $2 billion for Barbados in the new year. Millionaire securities expert Andrew Stewart and his business partner Stuart Fordham said they could mobilize a sovereign bond issue, effectively a loan, using their worldwide connections, as an alternative to Barbados going to the IMF. Mr. Sinckler said the proposal was not one that could be dismissed easily because of the standing of the two investors. Speaking to local media on Monday, Mr. Stewart, the chairman of Ravenscroft Limited, said the recent downgrade by Standard & Poor's was not the end of the world for Barbados.
Yes, of course, one should be concerned about it, but it is not, we're not knocking on the door of suicidal actions as far as this is concerned. And I think it has been blown up completely out of proportion to what has occurred because there are a lot of options for this country to go forward. We're just talking about one of the options. We've also highlighted the private sector investment, new capital coming in here and what have you. Those options are in place and it's happening now. So I'm actually quite confused, but I mean, Stuart's probably got more tolerance for S&P than I have. But over the years that they've come up with various ratings, a zero coupon bond once, and I persuaded a client not to buy it when it was rated AAA, and it went bust 3 days later. So they don't always get it right. Nobody ever gets everything right, and I think they've got this credit rating wrong.
At least two local economists have given a lukewarm response to the bond offer, partly because of the interest costs that may be involved. Architectural historian Sir Henry Fraser is touting church tourism as a niche area for Barbados to pursue. Sir Henry says that with 75 historic churches and graveyards full of stories, Barbados could reap rewards from this market segment. He was speaking after presenting a copy of the book Historic Churches of Barbados to Minister of Culture Stephen Lashley.
But the book was really published for three reasons. One was primarily to raise money for the restoration of St. Michael's Cathedral. Secondly, to inspire Barbadians in the same way that my series of 7 films for CBC TV called Pillars of Worship was done, to inspire us to go into the churches, to appreciate them, to meditate, to pray, and to be inspired by the spirituality that we feel when we enter those beautiful churches. And the third reason is to open up something that the Ministry of Culture is very sensitive about. Our cultural heritage is our way forward as a destination to attract visitors worldwide. Our cultural heritage is something that we haven't bothered about because we thought the beaches were everything. They're not. And our cultural heritage is extremely rich, and church tourism is very rich and expanding all over the world.
Next up is the weekly commentary with Carol Martindale.
This season is upon us, but for some, it won't be very merry. 2014 has indeed been a tough year at the national level and also on a personal level for many who lost their jobs. But we know not everyone is feeling the pinch in quite the same way. So we urge those of you who can to please reach out a helping hand. It could be towards a relative, a co-worker, a neighbor, or a perfect stranger. That small gesture could help make it a better Christmas for them and their families. Merry Christmas to you all from us here at The Nation.
Entertainer Terry Mexican Arthur and his Loveday crew have been taking Christmas cheer to communities. On Monday, it was the turn of Carrington Village in St. Michael to receive the Merry Band. A group of entertainers dressed in costumes took music, gifts, and huge smiles to the residents.
Fifth year for Love Day. Every year we do it. We get into the park 2 Saturdays before Christmas, and we go all around Barbados. Some people go from St. Lucie, St. Peter, and we go all around. We end up at Geriatric Hospital. We go into the hospital and play music for the children in the children's ward. You know, it's just a giving back, musicians and people. And it was actually made up on people on Facebook. So we got together and we just decided to give back and spread some Christmas cheer.
In sport, Barbados' preparations for next month's West Indies 50-over cricket competition are taking a break over Christmas. The next practice match is on Sunday. In the latest game for trialists, 3 centuries were scored at St. Catherine in Bayfield, St. Philip. Brothers Shea Hope and Kyle Hope, batting on opposing teams, and Shamar Brooks all reached 3 figures. Sunday's match is also at Bayfield. And finally, men in New York are being advised to close their legs on the subway. Don't be a man spreader. A poster by the Metropolitan Transit Authority depicts a cartoon subway rider with his legs spread far apart to take up multiple seats with a caption reading, "Dude, stop the spread, please. It's a space issue." The poster is part of a campaign to discourage space hogging by backpack wearers and what officials called man-spreaders, who have been the subject of numerous blogs and Twitter crusaders aiming to publicly shame those who spread their legs to take up multiple seats on crowded trains. So if you're watching this, guys from New York, close your legs. That's Nation News for Tuesday. For more, log on to nationnews.com, as well as YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. And get your Midweek Nation on Christmas Eve.